Hey guys, what's up? It's Jimmy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newest Pokemon games released for the Nintendo DS. They're my most anticipated games of the year, and it's finally time to take a look at Pokemon Black and White 2 for the Nintendo DS. So our game starts off with the usual introductory scene. We have Professor Juniper here to greet us once again. Now our actual story begins with you as a young trainer who's ready to begin their Pokemon journey at last. Like Pokemon Black and White 1, the story begins with a nice view of the starting town, or in this case, city. And for some reason, the camera is so fascinated with these leaves. Look at them go! So when you finally gain control of your character, you're free to move around and admire just how pretty the graphics are. Trust me, GameFreak's gonna give you tons of chances to see how pretty they've made these graphics look on the hardware they've been given. You find yourself in Aspersha City, the first time any Pokemon game has started you out in a city. Heck, it even has its own Pokemon Center and gym in it. Even though the Pokemon Center is there though, your mom will still heal your Pokemon. Isn't that a little redundant? So when you finally meet up with Bianca, your rival from the first duo of games, you find out that now she's Professor Juniper's assistant. She helped out the professor a lot in Black and White 1, and now she's officially got the job. After that, you have your first rival battle against Hugh. Hugh, like most rivals in the Pokemon series, is your childhood friend. He's actually pretty badass. He raised his starter Pokemon from an egg, so you know he's a pretty skilled trainer. Of course, he just so happens to have raised the Pokemon strong against yours. Now that that's been taken care of, it's time for you to set off on your journey to be a great Pokemon trainer. One of the reasons why I love that these games are numbered sequels to Black and White 1 is because you can see how the characters' environments have changed over the course of 2 years. Charon, your other rival from Black and White 1, is now a gym leader and teacher. He gives you your first badge, the basic badge, in place of Lenora. That's right, the gym leader roster has been given a makeover. Some of the gym leaders return as gym leaders, and some do not, but they all return in the game at some point. Most of them are in the post-game. As the story progresses, you run into Team Plasma. They've changed their uniforms from weird-looking knights to badass ninja pirates. Some new administration has been called in as well. One of the new Team Plasma admins is Colress. Pretty mysterious and shows up quite a bit during the story. Speaking of Team Plasma, they took Hugh's Purloin that he caught for his little sister. Throughout the game, you see this little side story arc unfold, and it's actually pretty good. Now that's enough in the story department. I don't want to ruin the surprise for all of you. The gameplay of the Pokemon series has been the same since Red and Blue. Sure, the battle mechanics have been tweaked a little bit over the years, but overall it's the same simple concept. You have turn-based battles with rock, paper, scissors like mechanics. Black and White 2 are running off the same engine Black and White 1 were running on. The mechanics in terms of stats and competitive play remain the same, but there are some new Pokemon to get with new abilities, but in terms of the main story, you still have the classic turn-based battles that we all know and love. As far as the music goes, a lot of the tracks from Pokemon Black and White return. Some are remixed like the Gym Leader battle theme, and some are tweaked very slightly. This is not a bad thing whatsoever. Black and White had amazing soundtracks to begin with, and now with all the new songs Black and White 2 bring into the mix, this has easily become my favorite Pokemon soundtrack. The games have tons of great songs from new games and old games. I'll get to that later though. The graphics in Black and White 2 haven't changed much since Black and White 1, but the animations added in for every trainer, plus the more minor animations that characters such as your rival or Roxy have for their overworld sprites, are nice touches and make the game feel more real. Some battle sprites for Pokemon have been updated. Areas have been changed, and the differences between Black and White 2 are more apparent. Pokemon Black and White did something most Pokemon games don't do. They didn't include any Pokemon from previous generations in its regional Pokedex. It was a risky move, but in the end, it worked out well and made the games feel fresh and new. It was a nice change, but Pokemon Black and White 2, however, take the Univadex and bump the number up from Pokemon in the region from 156 to 300 Pokemon. That means there are tons of new team combinations to make, and I'm glad old Pokemon were thrown into the mix. It was exciting to use some of my old favorites like Lucario and Leafeon alongside newer Pokemon like Samurott. Pokemon Black and White 2 fixed a problem Black and White 1 had, a near non-existent postgame. Don't get me wrong, Black and White 1 were great and very story-driven, but there wasn't much to do once the game was done. There was no battle frontier, not many legendaries to catch compared to previous games, and a very high level curve. Black and White 2 fixed the Battle Frontier problem by adding in the World Tournament, which in my opinion is much better than the Battle Frontier. In the World Tournament, you can fight every single gym leader and champion that appeared in any Pokemon game from Red to Platinum. Unfortunately, we can't battle Elite Four members, but that's not that bad considering there's 38 gym leaders and champions to fight altogether. There are tons of different battle options to choose from. The trainers can have various combinations of Pokemon, and the order you fight them can change each time. It's an excellent way to add hundreds and hundreds of more hours to your game. Also, you can make your own Pokemon movies in Pokestar Studios. Sure, there's a basic template and you're mostly just the actor rather than on the director's side, but it's still pretty cool. Also, they have tons of cool features such as connecting to Pokemon Dream Radar to get new Pokemon when you're using a 3DS. Pokemon Black and White 2 are nearly perfect Pokemon games, but the key word in that sentence is nearly. While there's tons of new areas to explore, music to listen to, graphics to marvel at, and Pokemon to capture, there were some really great innovations made in previous Pokemon games that were left out in these two. Why can't we walk with Pokemon again like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver? GameFreak, you sort of had the excuse in Black and White 1 because you weren't sure how much stuff you can cram into these DS cartridges. Also, not every unit of a Pokemon had an overworld sprite at that point, but a lot more of them do, if not all of them, in these games. The Dream World lets us get Unova Pokemon from it now in Black and White 2, so the ones that we find will have overworld sprites in the Entralink. I know it isn't the biggest feature, but it was a really nice one to have. Also, the Wi-Fi system for battling is still pretty bad, but that's more the DS's hardware's fault rather than the games themselves. Also, the Seeker is cool, but honestly, I kinda find it useless. I think it's great how you could set up a battle and trade with friends right on the spot, but in terms of functionality, as far as sleep mode goes, it's not very good. I wish there was an option to change the bottom screen to display the menu like Heart Gold and Soul Silver did, but other than that, I think Black and White 2 are amazing Pokemon games. I give Pokemon Black and White 2 a near perfect score of 9.5 out of 10. They improve on everything great about Pokemon Black and White and add in a lot of new stuff to the mix as well. They also help move the series in the right direction, which is always important when making new games for a franchise. I definitely suggest you pick these games up. It's a great way to say goodbye to the DS as the 3DS moves on in. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Huge thank you to MunchingOrange. I used this gameplay from his Let's Play of Pokemon Black and White 2 in this review. Link will be right here and down in the description below if you want to wait till after the video. Go subscribe to him, he makes excellent Let's Plays, and I'm so glad he made a high quality Let's Play so I can use it in this review. If you're new to my channel and you like what you saw today, please hit that subscribe button on top of this video. Also, hitting the like button down below and sharing this with your friends would really help me out. I would appreciate it greatly. My last review was on Naughty Bear for the PS3, so if you want to click that annotation right there, you can be taken right to the video. It'll open in the new tab so you don't have to lose your progress on this video. I have a Facebook and Twitter, and links to them are down below in the description. You can follow me on there and find out when I'm working on new videos, playing new video games, or live streaming on Twitch TV. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun to make, and I'll see you all next time with more videos.